Hey everyone, we are going to be talking about sheep today. So what if I told you that sheep know the voice of their shepherd? It's true, Google it. If someone else tries to call a herd of sheep who isn't their normal shepherd, the sheep won't react. So here's what that means for you. Someone is leading you. Someone is your shepherd. You're following someone's voice. It could be your friends, it could be someone on TikTok or Instagram, it could be a parent. Regardless of who it is, the voice you follow determines the actions that you take. And today we are going to talk about how voices serve different purposes in our lives. Some voices distract us. Things like our friends, our relationships, our phones, our social media. These things aren't inherently evil or bad, they just aren't always that good. And they can easily distract us. Some voices destroy us. Think about the way you talk to yourself. Think about the way you and your friends speak to one another, or words in your life that tear you down. Where do they come from? Are they narratives that you're believing about yourself that aren't true? But what if I said that only one voice directs us? It's true, God's voice. Listen to the scripture from the book of John, chapter 10, verses 3 and 4. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. God's intentions are always for the best. He is the only voice that you can always trust in all things. Do you recognize God's voice? Consider your thoughts. What are you thinking about, considering, meditating on, etc.? How do those thoughts make you feel? The wrong voices in our lives will amplify the wrong things, so things like anxiety and fear and doubt. So in order to seek the right voice, we need to know where to find it. God's voice can come through many different things, through prayer, through reading scripture, sometimes through other people. The book of Proverbs shares that there is wisdom in seeking advice from the wise people in your life. But here's the biggest thing when it comes to whose voice we follow: intentionality. You cannot accidentally follow God. It takes action and intentionality on your part. John chapter 10, verse 27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice." It doesn't say my sheep hear my voice. It says my sheep listen to my voice. So what's the difference? The difference is sheep hear voices, but they only listen and obey the commands of their shepherd. The shepherd is their caretaker, their life sustainer, their trusted friend. And that right there is what God is for us. So my question is, do you follow God's lead? Think about your actions. This is what that's about. What are you doing to pursue God and his path for your life? If you don't know the answer to that question, that's okay. But here are some ways that you can find out. You can spend more time in prayer. You can spend more time reading scripture. You could follow the example of other people in your life that you know follow God well. John chapter 10, verse 14 says, "I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me." Jesus knows us, and he wants us to know him and to know and to trust and to listen to his voice in our lives. So as we wrap up, spend some time this week thinking about whose voices are the loudest in your life. If God's voice isn't among the loudest, find a moment to get quiet and to ask him to help you recognize and to hear his voice. It'll be an absolute game changer, I promise.